Yo guys, welcome back to another episode of Anime Review. Today we got a Jujutsu Kaisen review. This is for season 1, not the manga. I mean, obviously it's not the manga because this is an anime review. But I didn't do a video yesterday, and as you can see, I'm a little red in the face. My family had a beach day yesterday, so didn't do a video yesterday, but I'm back at it again today. To give you guys a review of probably the biggest anime at the moment, and Jujutsu Kaisen. So let's get into it. Alright, so Jujutsu Kaisen, what exactly is it? So, Jujutsu Kaisen, there's these people called Jujutsu. At first I thought they meant Jujitsu, as in like the martial art. It's Jujutsu, sorcerers. And basically what it is they're like exorcists, kinda. There's these things called cursed spirits, which are like evil ghosts. And they're almost like yokai in a way. At least that's what I thought when I first watched the show. And basically what they do is they exorcise these like cursed spirits, or like, well, I thought they were like yokai. So yeah, that's basically the basis. I mean, the main character, Yuji Itadori, he consumes what is called a cursed object, which is like a random object that has some sort of curse attached to it, similar to like, I don't know, something out of like SCP or something, sort of like that, kinda. But the one that he consumes is this finger of this big bad curse guy, and he had like 4 arms, and all of his power was split into 20 pieces, which were all 20 of his fingers. And Yuji eats one of them, so he gains some of his power, but he has sort of like a split personality thing, because the spirit and him are trying to like fight for control of his vessel. So it almost is kind of like Parasite. I mean, I don't know much about Parasite, because granted I haven't watched it or read the manga, but from what I understand about it, it's sort of like that. So yeah, that's basically, I mean, and then they have to go out and try and find all of the different fingers so that they can try and contain all that power and stop other bad guys from getting that power. But yeah, as far as like, not just plot stuff, because the plot is pretty interesting. And when I first watched it, like the first few episodes, I thought it was kind of like Demon Slayer. If you were to mix Demon Slayer and Yokai Watch, like, who remembers Yokai Watch? Loki, the anime was trash, but the games were a banger. I won't even lie to you. But yeah, so I felt like the plot was sort of like that. It has to do with like the evil spirits, and when I think of Japanese spirits, my mind automatically goes to yokai. But the show itself was very colorful, and I mean, it was the way the characters moved and stuff, and the fights especially, were very fluid, which I think that was one of the main things before I even started watching the show. I heard people talking about is how great the animation quality is. Like I said, other than that, like, the plot was great. I mean, there's not much I really want to get into other than, like, I mean, there's some plot stuff. Like, they had a tournament arc, which wasn't excellent. I mean, it wasn't really like a tournament, because they ended up getting, the tournament ended up getting canceled in the middle because they were attacked by enemies. So it was kind of like, in My Hero Academia, if they were to have one of the sports festival things and then it gets canceled or whatever because there's an attack by the League of Villains or whatever. It's sort of like if that were to happen. But kind of how the USJ incident, or like the training camp or whatever, sort of like that. At least that's the vibes I got. Or like in Naruto, when they're doing the tuning exams or something, when Sasuke and stuff first meets Orochimaru. It kind of reminded me of that like whole situation, and sort of something that happens quite often in different shonen, where like tournament arc will get interrupted, and then all of the participants have to team up and fight against a bigger threat. So yeah, that does happen in this. Trying to think of any other interesting plot stuff without giving too much away. I mean, these are spoiler reviews, but at the same time, I just don't really want to give too much away. But I would say that Jujutsu Kaisen, in my opinion, is a little overhyped. I mean, overall, I just finished it today. I had like 2 more episodes left, and I watched both of them, and then let it sit with me for a minute just to gather my thoughts on the show as a whole, and then I'm making this video now. I'd say it was 8.7 out of 10. It's kind of a weird score because usually I do 0.5s. I didn't think it was exactly an 8.5 because, I mean, it wasn't that bad. In fact, it was pretty good, but I didn't think it was exactly a 9 either. So I gave it an 8.7 to split the difference. Pretty good. There was a lot of characters that I did like. I mean, Yuji Itadori is definitely an interesting character, just because he was so powerful to begin with, like his supernatural abilities aside. I mean, he was able to throw this, what was it, I forget what you call it, shock put or something. I think that's what it's called. In track and field, he was able to like yeet it like a baseball, and like it went super far, and he's able to run super fast. He has like amazing stamina, his abilities aside. So yeah, he's definitely kind of a pretty cool character. And then there's different characters like Gojo, who definitely reminded me of Kakashi from Naruto in a way. I'm trying to think who he kind of reminded me of as well. Like a mixture between Kakashi and someone who's a little less serious, more funny, kind of. I'm trying to think of what character. I'm not too sure though. But yeah, a lot of the characters were cool. I'm going to talk about the other 2 main characters, which are Megumi Fushiguro and Nobara, I think that's her name, Nobara something. The girl, she has like a voodoo doll type ability where she has like a hammer and she like nails into these like dolls, and they have effects on the enemies. And then Fushiguro is able to summon they're called Shikigami, which are like these spirits that fight for him. And that part, when he uses that ability, reminded me of Blue Exorcist when they have the familiars. That was just a connection I made. But yeah, a lot of the characters were pretty interesting and cool. The plot was pretty cool. I mean, the world building and stuff was kind of nice. I like the whole power system. The cursed energy that they use is really cool. I'd say probably the best fight in the show was, there was one thing that happened in the last episode which was cool, but when Toto, this big muscular dude, fought with Yuji and then they teamed up, I thought that was really cool. But that's going to be about it for today's episode, guys. I got some more stuff to do today. I just wanted to do this, and I probably might do a manga review. I got that last Demon Slayer manga review to do, so I'll probably hit you guys with that later. Yeah, as of right now, like I said, 8.7 out of 10. Slightly overhyped, but don't get me wrong, it was pretty good. Highly recommend anybody watch it if you're new to shonen, and maybe if you're a shonen god, veteran, and you can pick apart some of the tropes and stuff and decipher what it has to offer. But besides everything aside, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.